Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I came out and just said, black male gamers are a mistake, that would sound really bad, wouldn't it? That would sound really, really bad. I know someone's probably going to try and clip that. But someone has come out and said white male gamers are a mistake. And that's okay. Of course it is. Because why not? This gaming situation is unfolding at a pretty exponential rate. So trying to stay on top of it is bloody hard. But essentially, Compulsion Games Community Manager, right, is being protected. Like, you know, closing rank around this individual. Can't suffer any consequences, not allowed. I don't know why you'd want to protect someone that is clearly racist, but hey, I don't have that mindset, so it's difficult for me to realise. But let's take a look, shall we? This is the continuation of the gaming saga that we've been following here on the channel. You should hit subscribe if you want to stay up to date on it all. So basically, there's a new report that claims Compulsion Games community manager Katie Robinson is being protected, despite declaring that she literally hates gamers, so that's bizarre, and also said white male gamers are a mistake. Why would you protect that person? This is, by the way, this is the company that quite literally race swapped this character. So that was really smart of, yeah, it was really, really smart of Compulsion Games. Basically, they're like, we'll bring on board one of those narrative consultants and they'll tell us what we need to do. And what they needed to do was, of course, change the race. This was actually, in pre-models, a white person. And this is for South of Midnight. So Robinson, who announced back at the end of September that she became the community manager for Compulsion Games, wrote on X on February 14th, "Honestly, I hate gamers." Why are you a community manager for gamers then, you dunce? Her post about hating gamers comes a day after the official Compulsion Games X account announced its support for Crystal Dynamics' trigger warning at the beginning of Tomb Raider Remastered. This is that stupid trigger warning. It didn't really make any sense either. Like, there's no... There isn't any, like... There isn't anything racist in it. They literally show individuals, you know, depiction of, albeit quite rudimentary, because obviously at the time, you know, the graphics weren't exactly great, but they do show a depiction of cannibals, which were an actual thing. So, like, genuine representation, I guess. We can't have that. But anyway, Compulsion Games responded to the trigger warning on February 13th by saying many video games are a product of the times they were created in. As we look to recreate and remaster these stories for modern audiences, it's important to consider the implications of these harmful portrayals and do our part to rewrite new history, not repeat it. We applaud our peers at Crystal Dynamics for their reflections and corrections, which was, you know, this is all placating to no one who's actually going to buy your game, by the way. Like, no one actually cares about this that was going to buy it in the first place. So this is all, you know, we all know this. I'm preaching to the choir. And then Sweet Baby Inc. You know, it's Sweet Baby Inc. that got involved in this game, by the way. So not only did she claim that she hated gamers on February 14th, but in an interview with Refinery 29 back in 2022, she admitted to posting to social media, white male gamers were a mistake. She told the outlet, "You're not going to tickle some people's fancy being outspoken or tweeting things like I do when I say white male gamers were a mistake. I like to think that my kind of presence acts as a way to kind of show people like, hey, you can be outspoken. You can have a backbone and stand for something and still be successful." Yeah, only if you have the right political leanings and the right outspoken views. Because if it's anything, you know, remotely off message, you'll be labelled far right. Because that's what these clowns love to do. So later into the interview, while discussing Twitch demographics, she detailed the streaming platform's demographics are really just a greater reflection of the society at large outside of gaming. I mean, we see who sits at the top of society in general. It's that and also subconscious bias and subconscious racism. But you're just actually racist. Anyway, whatever. When most people think about gaming, they have one image in mind, and it's probably some white guy. And you know what? That's because they're the majority of gamers. Nothing wrong with that. They are just the majority. everyone has access to playing games. It just seems that white men want to play games more than other demographics for some reason, is what it is. Robinson went on to inform the outlet, if somebody white says, I have this apprehension going to a space where there's black people, that ends up being rooted in something more sinister. And that's when you have to take a look at yourself and ask yourself, why do you feel that way? Isn't that funny? Because there was literally like a BBC radio host in the UK that was like, I feel really uncomfortable being in a space full of these white people. But not reprimanded in any way. Still on ridiculous sums of cash every single year. She also shared that one of her goals for the homepages of YouTube and Twitch is to have black folks who are queer, trans, brown, disabled, and not be outnumbered by cisgender white people. Specifically white men. And not just during a specific Black History Month or Women's History Month at any time of the year. That's right, ladies and gents. YouTube can't be populated with the majority of the creators anymore. It must have a diverse homepage. I.e. just black people is probably what it's going to be. As that's what she wants it to be anyway. Like, this is just nonsense. There are plenty of black people and queer people and gay and whatever you do with your genitalia that watch my videos and they enjoy them. You don't have to be that demographic to appeal to that demographic. These people are so stupid. So anyway, now former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern reports that Robinson is being protected. So he posted to X, more X developers come forth about Sweet Baby Inc. project South of Midnight by Compulsion Games. He says the community manager is still protected after saying she hates gamers and has a problem with Asian and white people. I mean, that is typically, like, there is statistical data out there that black on Asian crime is ridiculously high. Like, so for some weird-ass reason, statistically speaking, black people really don't seem to like Asian people. That's a statistical fact. Don't really understand why. Don't understand what the beef is with Asians, but okay. Next, he reiterated details from a previous report. Main character was race swapped in order to better reflect a tale set in the Deep South after Microsoft and Sweet Baby Inc. involvement. The team that created their past celebrated title We Happy Few is mostly gone, leaving after being disillusioned about changes after the Xbox MS and Sweet Baby Inc. involvement, studio politics, and more. Less than 10% of the original We Happy Few team remains. That's bad. And also says promotion of non-qualified staff to lead and management positions resulted in a mess of a project. No idea how to make a game. The developer team is almost entirely white and based in Montreal, Canada. And many developers felt uncomfortable creating a game in the Deep South with so little experience in the area. Sweet Baby Inc. and a person of colour writer was brought on board to help with a more authentic perspective. Okay. The gamer-hating community manager, Katie Robinson, is cited on one of the many incompetent staff promoted or hired into senior positions who does no actual work. A quick glance at the company page she manages, Compulsion Games reveal virtually no info about the game and consist of endless retweets of DEI-related matters and promotions about other games and companies, because that's really what you want. When you're looking to find out that game. Developers paint a picture of a passion project by the creative director who grew up in the South, gone awry after Microsoft money, project in poor taste of development, good developers with good intentions being hamstrung by poor hires and promotions not based on merit, and very poor community management. There are many good people out there. I mean, this is pretty crazy. So we also continued and said, Mark Kern's doing really good work. You need to follow him, Grums, over on Twitter. Do give him a follow. Tell him I sent you. Says, my personal hope is that Compulsion Games turns this around, creates the beautiful fantasy story they intended. They should clean up staff and get a new community manager who actually loves their game and loves gamers, and they should fire Sweet Baby Inc. and let gamers know they did. Yeah, that would make people actually buy the game instantly. There are many, many, many developers in the industry who are held hostage, silenced by DEI culture of fear that prevents them from doing their job, or from DEI and ESG culture lowering quality and abandoning merit. Causing many talented developers stuck without promotions or forced to leave and causing projects to fail. This has to change to fix gaming. These people should just make their own gaming development studio. That's what they should do. So there you go. Sweet Baby Inc. gets, another one killed, as it was. But, Sweet Baby Inc. and community managers such as this will continue to, I guess, prevail in some regard. until they start to really get the, feel the effect with their wallets. No one buying their shit, which is happening. So, hey, it's going to be fun when these games get released and you see a huge drop off on finances. Can't wait. Genuinely can't wait. No one's going to play this shit. No one wants it. Especially someone that says white male gamers were a mistake. Wow.